Pregnancy, motherhood, and my art career really go hand in hand. My kids have reminded me day in, day out that being present, having fun, and just living in our body more than our mind is a much happier and more peaceful place to be. Hi, I'm Victoria Wilson. I'm an Australian abstract floral artist. I'm currently exhibiting with Few and Far as part of their Artist in Residency program. So I've always created, I've always painted since I was a little girl. And so alongside being a creative director in experiential marketing, I painted at home. I had an amazing opportunity to study at the Art Students League of New York under Frank O'Kane. He's an amazing abstract painter, and I learnt so much from him about myself and about how that translates into the painting and the artist world. And so from that point on, I just knew that I needed to continue to paint daily so that I could feel balanced and really express myself in this creative way. I love painting large scale because it gives me the room to express myself. I put my whole body into the artwork. I like to move in and around the artwork, have it on the floor, lift it up onto the wall, have it on the floor, so that I feel like I'm really part of it. And so working at a large scale gives me that freedom of expression for big strokes and to just move within it. As far as planning it out, I don't really plan it out. I'm an intuitive painter. I know a feeling that I'm trying to channel into the artwork, but the actual structure of it just flows out of me. Then towards the end, I actually become a little bit more, I use my graphic design hat and actually stand back and look at it structurally and then think, what does it need? But for the majority of it, it's very intuitive. I love painting florals, and so I often go to the flower market each week. I can never pick actually what flowers to bring home because I'm so stimulated and in awe of the flowers, but they are where I collect ideas about my colour palette. And then I often come back and think, okay, I'm going to pick these colours and I put them together. But then from that point on, I don't like to be restrained. I often then continue to inject colour, so I don't really plan my colours out that much. They evolve as the artwork speaks back to me. I know what needs to be implemented. So I go to Fox Markets. They've just got they have the farmers come in and they're on twice a week. So I like to go there, take the kids, it's good coffee, and pick out what feels seasonal. So I use painting to capture my emotions, and the process of that looks like coming out into the studio each day at the same time. I find I get great freedom in that discipline of knowing when I'm going to come out here. I channel those feelings and those big emotions through my art. I put on music that matches what those feelings are, and it becomes a really therapeutic and healing way for me to express myself. And I then feel like I'm a more balanced mother, a more balanced friend, wife, and person, having had that opportunity to really get those emotions out in a creative way. They're often based on song lyrics or song titles because music is such a big part of my process and amplifying my feelings. I often find a song and it really resonates on that day, and then I sometimes play it over and over and over, and that artwork it channels that song and those feelings. So for example, if I'm having a big life experience of childbirth, or I've just found out that I'm pregnant, or there's a family tragedy which happened unfortunately to me a few years ago, and dealing with those waves of grief that come through, I actually find that listening to music and painting is this symbiotic relationship with life, and the song titles actually are just the final touch on sharing what that might be. I never want to dictate what a collector should feel, so they are a little bit ambiguous. For example, with Four Seasons, that's a recent piece that has just gone off to Few and Far. That one I played the Vivaldi's Four Seasons over and over again. I play music, sometimes it's classical, sometimes it's something really modern, but this one, the classical music, just really amplified what was going on for me. And you know, blooming, growing a baby, spring's here. It was the perfect song for me to paint to. Creatively, I'm inspired mostly by the feeling that I get when I paint. So when I come out every day, I feel this release, this healing and connection to myself. And so that keeps me coming back each day. And also my life experiences, they're the biggest inspiration of which I want to channel through the paint, channel through being out here and getting in my body. I suppose that one big point is florals. I always had flowers in the house as a child. My mum is beautiful at putting arrangements together. And so they are a starting point for me they're like a conduit for emotions to be channeled through. And then it becomes an abstract expression of life. Yeah, so I work with acrylic paint, ink, aerosol now, and also oil pastels and gold foil. And I find that I really want to see things happen quickly. I like that acrylic dries and that I can layer in onto it. I'm loving experimenting with aerosol because of the kind of ombre look that you can get with it. If you looked at my hands at the end of any session, they are just absolutely covered in paint and gold foil, and I just love the tactile sensation of being able to work with these materials and how quickly they can come together. Motherhood and pregnancy has influenced my work hugely, I think, because the majority of my full-time painting has been while I've been pregnant, breastfeeding, and do it 4 more times. So I really have used it as a way to balance myself and have something that is actually mine in a time where the demands are really great. And my children have been a beautiful inspiration for me. When they come out here and I let them paint around me, it's a great reminder of how to stay in your body, not overthink the process, and actually have fun. And I think that painting should be about having fun, and the best works actually emerge from me when I am inspired by my kids. So I paint at the same time every day. It's always scheduled around my kids' naps and their activities. And while they're young, I paint over lunchtime when they're sleeping. I balance being an artist and mother. It's a funny question because I actually think the art balances me as a mother and artist. But I balance it just by painting at the same time every day, and it sounds really disciplined, but within that I have this freedom, and I know that I can exhale. I always can show up at the same time each day, and I trust myself to do that. When people see my paintings, I want them to feel joy. You know, even though I'm channeling specific emotions and life experiences through it, I still want my paintings to feel joyous, to feel happy, and for the viewer or the collector to actually bring their own interpretation of what that's feeling. And I think being abstract, that they actually can speak to you differently on different days. It's got movement to it. The artwork has movement to it, and so does what it's One of my favourite collections recently has been the Champagne series. That was painted knowing I was going into the Affordable Art Fair. It was just full of bright colours, of joy. It was wild and really free. And I think when people look at my art, I want them to feel playful and happy, and those artworks really express that for me. There was a moment where I decided I needed to sidestep from my design career into a pure art practice. Actually stepping into that choice, which is something I've always wanted to do, but I thought art wasn't a real career or a hard one to have, was really empowering. That feeling of empowerment actually comes through each time I create a new work. So it's self-fulfilling to keep producing. So I think that the other thing that really affects my art is because I was an experiential designer, meaning that you had to experience the brand, and I had a great career in New York and London. I want you to experience my art. It's not just a 2D something that lives on your wall. It actually speaks to you, and I feel like I'm coming out of my body when I'm painting it. So I want the art to also have that really beautiful impact on the collector as well. So I met Tara at the Affordable Art Fair, which is a big art fair here in Sydney, and that was a big career goal of mine. Tara has this beautiful energy that I was really attracted to, and when we had a conversation, it just felt like this dynamic between us was creative. We bonded over motherhood and family, interiors, and just a love of things that are beautiful. And so this relationship to me just felt really right from the first point of meeting her. I really admire your Artist in Residency program. It's so beautiful and awesome to see how Few and Far is supporting female artists in particular and original artworks. And I love how they are getting integrated into the stores so that you can see them styled in actual settings, and that there's art displays up on the wall. I think it makes it really accessible for people to see these in a furniture store and in this setting. I'm in 3 of the 4 Few and Far stores. I have a selection of works across those stores, and they're also online, so you can have a look through the Few and Far website to see what's available. I also really love working with the Few and Far stylists. So if there's a commission or something specific in size that you need for your home, then the 3 of us can actually work together to create something that is just perfect for that location. Like if you've enjoyed this video, and follow if you'd like more updates on original art.